Greetings, everyone. My name is Ruixin Huang. Currently, I'm an undergraduate student at the University of Malaysia. Here are my co-workers. They are Jia Tianli, who is from the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and Qi Luo, who is from the University of Birmingham. The paper we'll discuss today is titled Bias in Search Engine, the Case of Google and a Workshop Solution. This interdisciplinary research concerns the search engine and some relative social issues. Here are the table contents. The introduction and factor cost bias part will cover by Qi, and I will cover the workshop solution and some conclusion.
Firstly, I will give you some facts and figures. According to statistics, about 270 million US users visited Google site as of this January. Many users rely on the search engine, as it is believed to bring about authentic truth. However, as the US government statistics show, there is a lack of diversity in the IT industry. Information on search engines is limited to mainstream ideology about classification schemes. As a result, the search engine becomes a representation of the normative social order that conceals such unequal power distribution from the public. Thus, innovations have developed into products of history that unintentionally code the past into the future through its repeated computational power. Next, we will cover two parts on factors that cause such bias and a workshop solution. Before moving on to factors, I would like to talk about the development process of search engines. In the early stage of development, search engines make decisions based on strength of relevance between information. This kind of relevance is an approximate estimate based on mathematical models. Therefore, technically unavoidable errors exist and can be part of the reason for search engine bias. Now, state-of-the-art search engines can paint a portrait of the user by analyzing the various search habits of the user. However, limitations still exist, like a huge data set being required and computational complexity, which lead to the loss of complexity for portrait drawing. These flaws can be all sources and opportunities for misrepresentation and bias generation. Next, I'm going to explain the factors based on Google cases. As a focus case here, we will have a discussion on Google's algorithms and models. The Google search algorithm aggregates PageRank scores and delivers results based on the scores of the requested site. The random sample model is a foundation of PageRank algorithm, which also has the potential to lead to the page from where there are no outgoing links. Next are mathematical models, such as the Markov chain model and hidden Markov model. By applying the random walk theory in the models, together with mathematical assumption and induction, a PageRank evaluation experiment is proposed in the paper. Next, we propose 4 factors. The first one is pre-existing bias. In the process of development, search engines are structured to intimate the human brain to enable itself with the capacity of making decisions. The subjective of developers could become one factor. Secondly, the core purpose of the search engine as a commercial product is skill to generate commercial value. So it's easy to be manipulated to determine or represent users' interests. Next, considering the business background, user profile is developed with limited target audience. Also, data reflects the society, as it will also be subject to the power of stakeholders' interests. Lastly, search engine bias might also be relative to mainstream culture, and they can not be detected easily.
to raise the awareness of the participant about the discrimination in participants themselves, as well as in search engine. We proposed a workshop solution, which contains the three main parts. The first one is the IAT test. So the IAT is short for the implicit association test. It's a computerized categorization task that measures the closeness of the automatic associations between two types of words, the conceptual words and the attribute words. So by using the reaction time as an indicator, the analyzer can be measured the implicit social cognition, such as the individual's implicit attributes. So by taking the IAT, the participant can be aware of their own bias in this session and can realize in this bias that are not easily detectable. Session 2 is the work cloud. So by simulating the way of abstracting different ideas into one single idea, participants can realize why the search result differ from person to person. So the simulation process starting by answering some highly general questions, then followed by the group discussions on variance of the answers. After participants began to think about how answers are generated, they will lead to real Google case and can understand how search engine works. In the last session, it's a role play. Participants are exposed to an artificial environment of ID industrial and the real-time experience of the bias reproduction process. They will act as clients, developers, or organization leaders with different powers, such as they can clearly observe the conflicts between different roles in the real company. With this session, we can provide the participant a real picture of the product development process and can help them to get a better understanding of the bias reproduction in the development lifecycle. In conclusion, in this paper, we firstly represented the underlying bias in search engine. Then we analyzed and summarized many factors which can contribute of such issues. Secondly, we proposed a workshop solution aiming to make people be aware of the unconscious bias. And there's still some improvement that can be done, especially on workshop modeling and activity arrangement, which we can make it easier for participants to be engaged. All right, that's all from us. Thank you for your time.